is a question that comes up all the time, and we've already gotten the answer from the creators. But do you think in this day and age we could get a Back to the Future 4?
Well, I think the musical is kind of part 4.
Yeah.
It rehashes, the story we all know, but there's other elements in it that will be surprising to the fan. And every fan, and I know literally hundreds of fans who have gone to London and Manchester to see the musical, and they love it. Then they would go back and see it, and some have gone 3 or 4 times already. And it just day before yesterday won a big award as Best New Musical over in Great Britain. And I'm sure it'll come to Broadway, and the States will get to see it. And they got a crack cast performing, and of course they had extra time in rehearsal because the production got shut down by COVID. Yeah. And the special effects will blow your mind. So it's the musical is part 4. Look at it that way. There was a gentleman who started the Back to the Future fan club. The Hill Valley newsletter came with it back in the early 90s. And in a couple of those newsletters, fans wrote their synopses. Is that the right word? Synopsises of Back to the Future Part 4, of what the possibilities could be. And there were some great ones. The fans wrote some fantastic versions of what might happen. And then the cartoon came out.
Yeah.
And then the video game, and all these offshoots, Rick and Morty. Anyway, but the Bob Z and Bob Gale have said time and again, as long as they're alive, there will be no Back to the Future Part 4. Though I had a kind of a argument with Tim Russ from Star Trek fame, when this very topic came up at a Comic-Con. He said, Universal owns it. If they decide there's enough money in it, they'll remake it. I said, yeah, but a Part 4, and that too. Tim would not waver from his thinking, and I was like, okay. But the Bob said,
because Tom Holland from Spider-Man, he said he'd love a chance to, and again, I thought I read this, and if not, I thought I saw it on a clip that he would love the chance to, I don't know if it was just play Marty or be in a remake of Back to the Future. That would be amazing.
As did Daniel Radcliffe did too. The talent is there that would love to do it. Whether or not the Bobs first would have to be bought out or silenced or dead before I think they would allow it. That's what they've said. Yeah. Not in our lifetimes, as the quote that they said.
It's amazing with the technology they had in the 80s to make that film, those films. Like, what could they do with today's technology, right? And what's crazy is a lot of the predictions that they had in Part 2 actually ended up coming true. Most of them ended up coming true in reality. So there could be some some jokes on that and what they could do with today's technology. The fan in me is still rooting that maybe we could get a sequel. I'd rather get a sequel than a remake. I don't want to see it redone.
Yeah, it would be great to see the adventures of Jules and Verne and have cameos from the original talent.
Yeah,
jump up. That would be very cool. I got to visit I remember my nephew was visiting from Oklahoma, who was about 9 or 10 years old at the time. I wanted to watch some of the hoverboard scene in the Hill Valley 2015 square, and brought my nephew Sam, and I remember introducing him to Mike, and Mike said, "Hey, my wife just had a baby boy and we named him Sam. Nice to meet you, Sam." And I realized Mike's wife, Tracy, and Tom Wilson's wife, and my ex-wife all gave birth to baby boys within 2 weeks of each other while we were shooting, as if we were up against it enough. We had to have babies born at the same while shooting. And so that set, that Hill Valley 2015 set, was amazing. It was art directed within an inch of its life. The interiors, Cafe 80s, and various places that they knew they were going to go in with the camera. the camera doesn't do it justice. The art direction is phenomenal. The Texaco station, the Jaws 3D, it wasn't 3D, the holographic.
Yeah.